Hello and welcome back to the Finishing Line, proudly sponsored by Glistian Events. And it's a full house tonight. Tom, Andrew, Sean and myself. How's everyone doing?
Sure, grand.
Tom, how you doing? Bit cranky?
Yeah, bit cranky. Mike pissing me off, and yeah, gonna have to listen to absolute shite talk now because I know exactly what's coming from our group chat today. So yeah, can't fucking wait.
Sean, how you doing?
Good, Dave. A hell of a lot better now. The last 5 minutes, just watch Tom mess about with a mic and try and fix it and upset him. So this is gonna be entertaining.
For anybody watching, please do the usual, like and subscribe. Many of you watch the videos but don't subscribe, so just hit that button and do the channel a favour. Comments are flying in as always. Ben talking shit as always. It's always full of shite when he backs all the favourites and they all get lost. They all lose. All lost this weekend, Andrew. All gone. Bye bye. One of them favourites.
I don't take notes of.
We had a great weekend racing. Group 1, grade 1s, good handicaps, favourites beaten, all just madness going on.
Bubbles burst left, right, and centre.
Good performances, bad performances, insane performances. People from Racing TV putting up 1 to 8 shots as their tips for the weekend. That's all it happened, really, to be honest. But we will just go straight in, and we'll start with probably, I think, actually, definitely, the novice performance of the season so far, and probably one of the performances of the season so far. The horse that I've come around to and probably think he's probably physically the most talented horse, I give to say, in training, maybe. He has all the attributes physically. He has no brain cells.
Zero.
He's none.
Zero.
It's funny, but Gaelic Warrior, he was amazing yesterday, but the fact that he's uncontrollable and Paul had no choice from 3 fences until 2 out when he actually dropped the bridle and started racing. It could have been that he was tired at that stage because he ran so fast for 2 miles. But it was amazing to see. It looked like some of the fences, he just went, that's in my way, I'm going straight through it, hold on, Paul. Other ones he was like, oh, that looks smaller, I'll hurdle that one. Other ones then he just didn't give a fuck about and jump right, and he still won by about 80 lengths. Amazing.
He is an absolute freak in nature. But as you said, he lacks that vital thing. Fucking O'Brien, God bless him.
He is the epiphany of York Hill. He's just York Hill all over again.
Incarnated, but a bit better.
Yeah. He's a bit more paced than York Hill had.
Yeah, like that made you horny watching it.
That was amazing.
It's like, wow. But then, I've had an argument for the last day and a half on Twitter over it. I can't go near him at Cheltenham. There's too many scary moments. If you want, like, he's looking like he's really shot for the turners now. He's 4-1. Jesus Christ! Have people suddenly forgot what he does when he races left-handed?
It's just there's so much talent there, isn't there?
I watched back to Ballymore today before I came over, and I was like, right, he was stuck in behind horses, and he done well. There was a Barry Conlon horse next to him the whole way, which stopped him going out to the right the whole time, which was a brilliant bit of riding from Patrick who was on him. But if he does what he does at Punchestown, around Cheltenham, and he gets out in front on his own, he's going to jump out to his right. Like, I went through the race there at Punchestown, and his jumping was good. Like, that's galloping shot. That's not it. His first fence, there was a little jink to the right. Second one's fine. Third one, leaning right, going into it. The fourth one, he went straight, and this is where he just took off. He said, I have enough. Fuck this, I'm going too slow, and off he went. Then I'll just rattle through it quickly. 5th, straight. 6th, jink to the right. 7th, straight. 8th, right. 9th was the one where it was most prominent, where he jinked to the right, jumped right, and you know where the side of the fence is dialed off? He jumped there and he ended up here by the time he hit the ground, and he had to go back around. I love this horse, but lads, to have a look at his race, if you're thinking of really getting stuck into him, wait till he runs at the Dublin Racing Festival or something and see can he do it over a fence that way. Because jumping a fence going the way you don't want to go, it's more evident than it is over hurdles. Hurdles you get away with. You run him the stairs hurdle, he win it every day of the week. So all he has to do is flick over. Fences, you have to get a bit of energy to get over him, but not taken away from the horse. Tom found a gem. So only had to taint him 3 years to actually. He's not after tainting him. He's still not fucking raceable. Like, if you even. Again, I can't get in my head. He got beat off 129 or something like that in the Bulls, and Tom loses sleep over till this day. I don't know. There's just a lot of questions about him racing left-handed, but I just can't go near him at Cheltenham. I hope he proves me wrong, because he's an absolute freak in nature. You said he's probably up there with one of the best horses in training, if not the best.
I think he's physically the most gifted
on pure
at the moment.
Pure raw ability, he's absolutely a freak. Just to harness it in. If they can harness it in some way, fuck me, this thing could be unbelievable.
I think the only thing he'd lose out in is a fight to Braun. Tom, impressed?
Yeah, very impressed. I thought he jumped really well. He made one mistake down the back, but he just got in tight, but he didn't lose any momentum. I thought he was very measured at them. He was very quick away from them. When he was right, he was very good. When he was in close, he put himself right. But the main thing was he was quick and he fiddled his way through them when he needed to, but he was quick away from them. And that's what I was getting at last week with Facile Vega. That's not what he did. He got in close, stuttered, and bunny hopped them. This lad, if he was in close, got away from them quick. No, I was very impressed. The jumping right thing, he puts himself right astride before the fence, and then he just leans. He jumps out to the right more than he doesn't run down the fence. He wasn't running down the fences and jumping right. He wasn't doing a Flooring Porter what he did and running down the fence out to the right and losing 10 lengths every time. Yeah, look, he obviously is probably better going right-handed, isn't he? But you look at his Cheltenham form, like he was a lunatic the day he got beaten the Boodles. You can see now why he went off 13-8 favourite off 129, because he's at least 3 stone better than that. And the next day he's got beat by Imperi Pass, and my opinion, Imperi Pass is the one who's going to be able to put up with Constitution Hill this year. As Andrew said that day, and at Leopardstown in the handicap, when he's in behind horses and he has horses on his outside, he doesn't do it. I think they'll be able to ride him like that. We're judging him on, he was settled in behind a stablemate, and when they went down the hill, he basically bolted and took off with. But what is that identical to nearly? His Tremor maiden hurdle win when he made a seasonal reappearance last year. He was settled in behind a horse and he was going lovely with a circuit to go. He was coming down the hill and he basically took off, and Paul had to go to the front. Paul wouldn't have wanted to go to the front that day. He was getting a lovely lead around the place, not a bother on him. And the horse just took off and went to the front. After that, then, they were able to drop him in. I'm just putting it down to freshness that he bolted. I'm not too worried about that at all. I thought he jumped really well. And, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Look, going to Cheltenham, it is left-handed. He is probably better right-handed, but he's run really well there twice at the festival. So I'm not too worried.
Sorry, just on the Flooring Porter thing. Like, if you look at the Flooring Porter at Cheltenham, Chase debut, and Flooring, like, there was no signs that he was going to do what he done at Punchestown. And then you stick him around the way he doesn't like going. Yeah, all hell breaks loose.
Flooring Porter, I think, was chasing the loose horse more.
Even at that, you see, like when he was jumping on his own, he was jumping out to the left the whole time.
There's a lot more evidence that Gaelic Warrior goes better right-handed than Flooring Porter does left-handed.
Some of the comments before we come to Sean. Dave, do you think Dysart Enos could beat Enola? I haven't answered that. We know the answer to that. We'll talk about Enola and some of the other ones later. Other people are laughing about the best horse in training. I said the physically most gifted horse in training. Doesn't mean he's the best horse in training
You did
yet.
say the best horse in training.
But he could be the best horse in training. But he needs to race properly, as I already explained. I quite like him. I think Tom was right to be impressed, but the Bolton thing would worry me because it just shows he's nuts. Sean, how'd you think?
Yeah, I was impressed. I think Thomas covered a lot of what I was going to say. I thought his jumping was good. When he got into it, he was slick and quick to get out of him. He did hit one down the back. And the freshness, Tom touched on it. I think you've seen the exact same on debut last year around Tremor when he went on to win by 100 lengths, and he just didn't need to win by 100 lengths. He jumped the fort well, and he got up the inside, and as soon as he seen light, he took off. And look, I know the second was 137 rated, was second behind Imagine, who went out and won the Grade 2 today. Like, there are no donkeys that he's running against there, and he's absolutely murdered them as easy as he wanted. Like, that's top. That's as good as you're going to get at a start over fences. And I was happy to get him in the team last week. Like, he's half now down to 4-1. The jumping, like, I think he'd be buried on the rail pretty similar to last year. It's not as exaggerated as you touched on with Florian Porter going the other way. Like, he physically can't. He loses 5-6 lengths at every single.
Like, people forget he nearly ended up in the stand in Double Race Festival. He literally nearly ended up in the stand when he got daylight. When he got daylight in the Ballymore, Patrick had to whip him back in behind in Perry Pass to stop him going.
It's the same.
There's so many
it's the same.
about it.
It's the same.
No thanks.
It's the same as. It's the same as the Fast Vega thing, because Tom was dead against him last year at Cheltenham. He went for Perry Pass because of the jumping to the right, going left-handed. And now he's saying that it's not that much of a problem, but it clearly is a problem. You see what you want to see when you're following a horse. The same as last week when Sean was saying that Fast Vegas jumping wasn't too bad. I thought it was mediocre at best, but he's good enough to win. Like, there's clearly problems with Gaelic Warrior, but he's clearly extremely talented. It's like the people in the comments, they're going to say, give excuses for Shishkin, and they'll go on about Con Hill and so on and so forth. You always see what you want to see when you're following a horse, but in reality, he does jump right. In reality, the Bolton is not how you should race. It's idiotic. But the also reality is he's an amazing engine, and he just
but I think like
he manages to do a million things wrong and still win by fucking 60 lengths.
Like if there was no problem him going left-handed, racing left-handed, fuck, you can put him in any race. Put him in any race and he'll win it. But it's the whole...
I think like last year, he's won races left-handed. Like it can't, like, he wasn't that bad until you said the last when he was given crystal clear daylight. And,
he won a handicap where he was fucked in by 20 pounds.
I know, but he's won left-handed.
And all he had to do was turn up.
He's run second in a Ballymore. Like, that's not...
And he got beat off Brazil of 129 going left-handed.
We'll move on from this, but like, he got beaten in the Ballymore.
I hope he proves me wrong, because he's a fucking freak.
He got beaten in the Ballymore. Before the start of the season, I said that if they raced again, I would think Gaelic Warrior would beat him Perry Pass. I think over fences he could beat him. But they had to hide him in against the rail in the Ballymore so he wouldn't jump out to the right. And that's always going to be a problem. So you're giving away an advantage to other horses by having to bury him away, which is not a good thing.
It's not, but I think he could have the class to do it. Like, if you look at the field, like looking at it, to be honest with you, most of the ones.
Yeah, it doesn't look a good race.
Yeah, and like, he's probably going to get away with burying him, and he can do what he wants.
He's very good, though.
He is very good.
Very good.
We'll just touch on Stateman. There's not really much to be said about it. Pretty easy race. He does what he does. I don't know what price he went off.
1 to 7
or something like that. But very good. He's just still not the slickest hurdler in the world, but he's a very fast horse.
Fast horse, good horse. Yeah. Not much more to say. He got there, got the job
interested
done,
to see when he races in Perry Pass, because he's definitely not a slick hurdler. He just kind of goes up and down. He doesn't flick hurdles. Tom, Stateman.
Yeah, very good. Did his usual, didn't he? No, he is very good, and he probably does get underappreciated, I would say, because he got beat by Con Hill. But he is a very good horse. But the better one is out next weekend.
Is he out next weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sean Stateman.
Yeah, he's class. He is underrated, as you touched on, because he's being beaten by Constitution Hill. But like, he's a very quick horse. I don't know what way they're gonna go with about trying to beat him with in Prairie Pass, because if he goes slow gallop, he's quick. Like, he's beating flat horses. Like, they spun in there and he had quicker toe. Then he was last one out the bridle against a Pied Piper. Same at Punchestown last year with a Vauban. Like, these are quick horses, and he's beating them over a sprint. So I don't know. He stays forward, or so to go a stronger gallop. I thought he was very good first time out.
Did you say Pied Piper was fast?
Yeah, like, he's coming out the flat. Like, he's definitely a quick. He's not a slow horse. Not as good as him, but he's a quick horse.
I don't think Pied Piper is very fast, but we
Well,
move on. Florence Porter, it was a really good race. Andrew touched on it. He went nuts. He's gone back nuts, but it didn't really work out this time going right-handed. I'd say I would doubt you'd see him right-handed again, and he was definitely chasing the loose horse. It didn't help. He was like, I'm going to follow him, and you're not having any say in the matter.
It was like, how's this lad getting away without jumping?
The horse Tom liked, Daffodil Fury, was bitterly disappointing. He had beaten Favori de Champdou. He wins the race, turns the form around by about 60 lengths. Can't make head nor tails of that. A bit of a Gordo scam done there. And I like Favori de Champdou. I think I backed him in the Bartlett last year.
I think there was something up with him. Sam was looking down a lot on him in the last race.
Yeah, Sam Ewing looked down a lot, so a bit odd. Thought was like Sander Clegane, but to be honest, it is what it is. I think with Sander, that's about as good as he is. I think
4 miler, please.
He looked very, very slow. He was slow jumping as well. I don't know really any positives from it. It wasn't as good as I thought he'd be over fences. We'll have to wait and see. But it was an interesting race.
It's a great watch. I loved it. Yeah, just touching on Affidel Fury. I think there's surely something up with him, because Sam Ewing was looking down a lot down the back straight. I thought at one stage he left him drift back and he was going to pull him up at one stage, but he went on again. I'd forgive him that every day of the week. Sandra Moose, oh fuck me. He's there's something about him there. I just needed a light bulb to come on, because his performance in the Bartlett was very good, and then the performance at Punchestown was very good. I think he just needs a trip. Not a trip, a lesser quality horse to run against, and I think if throw him into the 4 miler, it might be his cup of tea. The winner, I don't know what to make of the winner, because you said he got beat very not handsomely, but quite convincingly by Affidel Fury last time. Must have come on leaps and bounds first. It's a horse to keep on the right side. Florence Porter is just an absolute legend of the sport. Look again, if that was left-handed, geez, you think he would have won it very easy, because he was still there 2 out. He was coming back at him again. Back left-handed, he's definitely one to keep on the right side of. But yeah, it was a weird race.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably all season racing against each other, and you'll get different results every time. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I look. Florence Porter is just mad, isn't he? It was worth a try going back that way, but I don't think you'll ever see him going right-handed again. To finish where he did, considering what he did, I actually thought was quite good. So yeah, I wouldn't put a line for him just yet. I thought the winner won well. I think he's improved for chasing. He looks like a chaser, and I'm not surprised by that. And I think, yeah, my horse, Affidel Fury, he didn't run his race, did he? As Andrew said, Sam was looking down the whole time, nearly went to put him up on a couple of occasions. But once there's nothing wrong, I'm very happy to give him another chance. And look, Sandor is Sandor. He's just not enough.
Sean?
Yeah, I thought it was strange. I checked the racing post and they said the vet even after was normal on Affidel Fury, so I don't know whether they'll find something out during the week, whether it's something a bit more serious. It was weird. He got into no rhythm, and then the form turn with the winner, like I just said, the winner was good. He jumped his way around. He could be possibly someone who goes to a 4 mile chase. He'll stay all day and he's jumping. For Gordon, Florence Porter, I don't know why he went right-handed. I thought it was very silly. They should have waited for Christmas. He probably is still going to go to Christmas, but I have no doubt he's the best horse in that race. That race is ran left-handed. I'm backing him every day of the week going forward. And Sander Clegane, yeah, just just didn't meet it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Another disappointing one for me was Apple away. She finally had her chase debut. At a betting, I decided to try and cash it out as soon as the race went off because she wasn't leading, and I was like, okay, they're not even going to try. She was disappointing regardless. Her jumping was a bit. It was slow and ponderous. She wasn't really attacking them. A good winner in Grey Dawning. He's after giving a good bump up to stay away phase form. Gayard ran as Gayard does. He's slow as tar. Trip way too short for him. Some of the other loose in the horses through the weekend ran poor as well. But yeah, Great Autumn was good. Nice white.
Yeah, he's good. I like
To
him.
be honest, I don't think any of them are going to be anywhere near it.
No, I think this fella could be really good. He impressed me last year in his when he was a hurdler. Just about, he's so raw. There's a lot more to come from him, and the way he picked up and put these away very easy was impressive.
He's one I could see for the 4 miler. I wouldn't think he's good enough to win the RSA.
I found it very strange that Apple away couldn't lay up with Galliard the Mesnil.
She should have been able to, so that's why this is not going to happen today anyway.
We had a conversation on our chat as well. I found it very strange that they were throwing her in against these two. I found that very strange.
It didn't bother me because she had been against Grey Dawning over hurdles, and
yeah, but
Gayard, he's so slow, and he's giving away so much weight. If you had won that on Saturday, it would have been the best performance of his entire career, to be honest.
Yeah, it's your first time over fences. Like, you can find an easier race than that to start her off. But it's just a look, she was getting plenty of weight, and she didn't look. Whether you want to forgive her that or not, I thought she was massively disappointing because she dropped away so quickly, so tamely. I
love the horse. She was supremely disappointing. That's way worse than what she was over her.
Oh yeah. Look, whether it was God only knows what it is, was she in season or was it just a bad performance? Who knows? She's definitely the only target for her now. Cheltenham's the mare's chase. You can't see her line up in the Browns rat. Unless you just drive her out and hope for the best and see what happens.
She's too slow. She's definitely a 3 miler.
You'll need to see something better of her next time anyway. But yeah, I really like this Grey Dawn. I think and I don't like skeleton horses. I think this fella could be very, very good. Something about him. I think he's still very raw and he's a very good jumper. Yeah, he could definitely be a 4 mile contender, but I'd definitely keep on the right side of him. Yeah,
we give out about Harry a lot. We have done over the course of the years, but he gave 2 Orsa Haydock great rides over the weekend. But both of them already had a run for skeleton, so we had warned Sean not to back Protector at, and he ran like all the other first timers for skeleton. He was extremely poor, but we'll touch on that. Tom and Sean, anything about Grey Dawning, Apple away?
Yeah, Grey Dawning was good, as you said. I think Harry gave him a good ride, and yeah, he's got a bit of scope to go and improve. Galliard, just like a nice comeback run, is how I'd put that. Good. He's an awkward horse to place. And this was a good spot for him, and a good comeback run. Apple away, Dave. I hate to say it, I think she falls into the Sandor bag.
She looked very slow.
I just don't think she's that good, to be honest. You look at her form last year. She won a handicap. She got beaten handicaps off 111. She won a handicap off 113. She won a novice listed mare's handicap. The horse she beat behind's rate 126. And then she's racked up at Aintree and gone and won a Grade 1 with Maxi Milan in second. Like I know the other horses behind her are very good, but they'd all ran at Cheltenham. So I don't know. I'd put that down as a bit of a freakish performance, and I just don't think she's overly amazing.
Sean?
Yeah, Grey Dawning was good. He's a bit of a Fruit Loop now. He throws himself at fences, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on the ground at one point this season. The one down the back, I think it was the 6th. He threw himself, and by God, he was about an inch from not making it. That was about the only thing. Other than that, he bolted up. Garrett Dumanil, he went away in front, and just that trip, he's never gonna be quick enough. Like he lost it with a lap to go, and he just went around with a big weight and a step up and trip. I'd say another stint at the Grand National, and Apple's away. I thought it was the jumping. I thought the reason she couldn't lay it was Garrett Dumanil was so sharper over his fences, and she was losing a bit of time in the year, and she just couldn't get to it. But look, I thought it was a bit disappointing, and I'd say maybe spin back over hurdles if she's not gonna get slicker over the fences.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he'll see her over hurdles yet. They'll give another go, but we'd have to see better. What did you guys think of Hackett at Tabart at Cork? She was very good. We probably won't get a chance to really go into it. We've other things to talk about, but she was quite good today. She jumped very well. We'll talk about some of the horses that Sean was waiting for to come out. He did not have a good week. He was on holidays, and that was good. But Enola was very poor today. The Drift told a story. She was disappointing to me. She didn't stay too well, so you're in big trouble there. Mr. Policeman struggled to beat his 123 odd rated stablemate, who's useless, unfortunately. Tully Hill, man, I just don't know what to even say about Tully Hill.
Can't jump hurdles, yeah.
It's like he never saw a hurdle, and again, I had said I don't think he's a Bartlett horse. I just don't see it. Who else did we have? I think that's them all. They were all in your anti-post book, Sean. You got Gaelic Warrior in there, so you've got a good one, I think, for the Turners. But these three lads have let you down.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Now I was away in Poland. I left on Thursday, and I didn't catch any racing until last night. But I landed in. I had about 700 messages on WhatsApp off the group about Mr. Policeman, and I had a look at the replay. I was disappointed. I don't think that was the real him. That couldn't have been, realistically. He's gone and beaten a stablemate 120 rated by half a length. He started off jumping high, and then he made a bad error 2 out. And look, he dug after the last and went away. Whether it's a step up and trip he needed or going no pace and thus a sprint finish didn't suit at all. I'm not too sure. And Ola, jeez, I was wicked disappointed. She travelled and jumped now and found absolutely nothing after jumping the third last. I don't know. I think Willie's are taking not just these selections, but I think Willie's horses are some of them are taking the run big time on debut. I can see massive improvements in some of these first to second run. They're not running anywhere near it. But her, she'd need to be winning. She'd need to be improving a hell of a lot for the second run if she's going a maiden hurdle. And Tully Hill, he didn't jump a twig. He's another example of why I'm thinking that Willie's just are not running up the form. Like that Shannon Royale, he should be beating him whether he can jump a hurdle or not. He's been terrible on his 2 starts. So that's my thing on them 3.
Andrew?
Mr. Policeman never got it, still don't get it, and there's no excuses. Jumping is terrible. He made it look like such an effort to get from A to B. He's not winning an Arkle any day of the week. 8-1. What was like he beat Cashback. We said it a lot the whole time. He beat Cashback, and people were basing off how we done it. Like Willie even came out and said he works so good at home, but we don't see it on the racetrack. Is he just one of them horses that blow the gallops away and doesn't do it on the track? There's a lot of them.
The Enola and Mr. Policeman thing
winning races at home, Tom.
Was very much a Twitter hype thing, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry.
Enola and Mr. Policeman was very much.
Yeah, the Enola thing. I said it when Sean first said. I just don't get how you can just latch onto a horse coming from the flat that hasn't jumped a hurdle in public yet. I really don't get it, and it's just a lot of talk.
Just on that, I don't think the jump was the. I didn't have an issue with jumping today.
No, it's not. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yeah. I said it's how people latch onto a flat horse that hasn't even jumped a hurdle yet. The thing was 8-1 or whatever it was, or whatever the fucking Triumph, not to Triumph, the Mayor's Novice, and it hasn't even jumped a hurdle in public yet. I don't get it. Where you have the likes of Lossimo last season, who you saw clearly jumping a hurdle in France, think can jump. Grand, that's half the battle. But not to jumping today. Just stopped very quickly. Who else is there? Sorry. One more.
Tully Hill.
Tully Hill can't jump yet. I won't give up on him. Stretched imagination, not a stair. I won't have a stair. 2.5 miles, I say, with the max. Needs to learn how to jump very quickly.
Tom?
Mr. Policeman isn't overly big and can't jump a fence, basically, is the issue there. He, you go back to that Cork run, we said at the time, it's in April. April is for going racing in the spring sunshine and having a few beers, lads. You take the form and you throw it out the window. He beat the 4 horses in behind him have a combined age of 38. So I think that's enough said there. I can't see he's going to have to do something exceptional to come on from that. Tully Hill, very disappointing. What was the other one? Enola.
Enola.
I'll be with Sean on that. I actually was impressed by her jumping. She hit the first one and looked very green at it, but after that, I thought she jumped really well. Maybe she just wasn't fit enough. I don't know. We'll give her another chance, but yeah, I wasn't upset about her jumping anyway.
Just before we go on, we all have the crack here in the four of us. We give our opinions and all that, and fair enough, the comments and all that. If someone leaves a comment about a family member, and I'm not going to say who it was, but I saw it, of any person in the group here, you'll just be taken out of the comments next time. If someone wants to say something personal, just Twitter me, Instagram me, or same with the lads. I'm sure they'll answer you as well. Don't be bringing family members into it. It's a horse racing podcast. That's way, way, way below the belt.
Who is it?
You've
Fucking
been
name.
told.
Next one.
Where?
Up there. So don't think I don't see it. Anyway, we'll move on. Classical Dream. Very, very
Yes.
impressive. Probably the best jumping of all the novice chasers so far.
Yeah.
I thought it was deadly.
I thought he was unbelievable. Foot perfect, could not fault it in the slightest. Made a great shape of the fence. Jesus, why they waited so long? Well, I presume they had issues with him getting him out early in the season, but if he's making up for last time, he's making it up very, very quickly.
Well, Willie said he had been practicing over fences and he had like issues here and there the last 2 years, and that's why they stayed over hurdles. And you could kind of tell that because it's like he had been doing it all his
I
life.
loved how he long, short. He can tuck himself up really fast when he gets in short. He can launch himself at one. He looked like he was relaxed out in front. As Ruby Walsh said, the only place he's fast is in his head.
He looked fast the other day.
He
Though.
looked fast, but he's after throwing his hat into the ring big time. You couldn't. Again, doesn't really stay 3 miles of Cheltenham.
No, and he doesn't get up the hill, but like he could be one for the turners as well, though.
Yeah, I seen people like putting him up for the National Hunt Chase. Like, doesn't say 3 miles.
Oh Jesus,
stairs.
he don't
Like,
stay 3 miles
over hurdles.
No,
So he's not going to stay 3.6.
maybe they'll work back from Punchestown again. He may go for the 3 mile novice of Punchestown.
What's there's a 2.5 mile novice at DRF, isn't there? Galpin win it 1 year.
Yeah,
that could be.
it's 2.5.
2.5. Yeah, that could be a race for him now.
It's the Faheen novice chase, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
that what it's called? No, that's in Limerick. Sorry. Tom, Classical Dream, you liked him?
Yeah, I've always been a massive fan of Classical Dream. The turners mightn't be a bad shout with him if you just let him bowl away and
Yeah, well, the way he jumped the other day, you could do that. Yeah.
yeah, like you look at the Hatton's Grace last year. He was second in that. That's 2 mile free against Tehupu and Honeysuckle. Yeah, like I think he could. I think he could mix it up in the turners. What I would say, lads, is I thought that was one of the most impressive chasing debuts I have seen for a long, long, long time. I think of all the horses we've spoken about coming out going chasing, and I'd have given you 1,000,000 to 1 that it would be Classical Dream that we're talking about this weekend as putting in the best performance. But I just thought he was slick. He just attacked his fences. He measured them right. When he was in close, he was quick away from them. When he was long, he was great. Yeah, I don't know. Dream could be back alive with him. I thought he was very, very good.
Yeah, I thought it was deadly. Sean?
Yeah, Classical Dream was very good. He went around there and jumped for joy and done it very easy. I'd say 2.5 miles probably is probably one you need to throw your eye to in the turners now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the bookies foe. Although he is very good, he's probably too old. And if it was him and Gaelic Warrior, I would choose Gaelic Warrior. But he was very good. He jumped very well.
How pricey?
I don't know. Before we go on to the best part,
I have it right in front of me. For the turners, he is 20s.
Oh,
that's not a bad bet.
I'll have a small bit on that.
For the Brown Advisory, let me have a look. For the Brown Advisory, he is 14s.
Oh, you get a good run out of him anyway. He might take it to the last.
Not bad.
Gaelic Warrior is like 4-1, 7-2, clear favourite for the Brown Advisory. I don't think he's going anywhere near 3 miles.
No, I
He's
wouldn't
too
think.
fast now. It's only going to be the Arkle or the Turners.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he'd be going to the RSA. But All will be revealed. Before we get on to the Betfair Chase and Gallopin and the Gold Cup picture, Shishkin
Hey.
just decided he wanted to race yesterday. Kind of sad to see because he's been a class animal for years. He was my horse to take on all year. I said it when we were discussing the race. I questioned his form. I did not think he'd just down tools and refuse to race, but where do you go now?
Psychiatrist with him?
The cheek pieces definitely didn't work anyway.
No. Like, they brought him in and he was, like, he planted himself first behind the fence, and then they brought him in and he was trotting away, and the worst thing that happened, they stopped again.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, I'm having a day off, lads. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Like, as I said, he has more problems than myself. You couldn't back him at all. It's just too risky.
Yeah.
You don't know whether he's going to do what he done in the Ryanair or bang a few fences and whatnot. You don't know if he's going to do what he done at Aintree and bolt up. You don't know if he's going to plant himself at the start. Oh, what a bio.
Yeah, he's gone. He's an enigma.
You see Nicky's interview after. He's leaning on the fence like that for 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, Nicky was furious, and he's bound to be. To be fair, a horse won a Supreme and Arkle. Everything else that he's won, you never in those days would have thought he'd end up being like Mad Moose. It's incredible, really, for a horse of his caliber.
Could turn up now at Kempton or something and bolt up in the King George or something like that.
Tom Shishkin.
Look, I said on the show, when I see him, I just put a line through him because I can never get him right. So I did think he'd win the other day. I can just never get him right. So God knows what you do with him now. Take him out hunting, something like that. I don't know. God knows.
Country race going to be good this year.
He was saying he can't just turn up at the King George without a prep run. So, Sean.
Yeah, I was baffled when I looked back and seeing this. Now, I hadn't a clue what was going on. Refused to race the scene, and I went and had a look, and God knows what he makes of it. He showed no sign of it before and just stopped. So next time, it's literally going to be getting him to start the race is going to be the biggest thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and runs over hurdles or something in the next week or so if they want to go to King George. But just on the King George, Brvemansgame beaten, Shishkin beaten, as Willie opens his eyes, and Allaho is becoming more likely to be a runner.
I was watching the racing. It was actually 2 great days of racing, but I was watching the racing. I think it was the Flowing Port race. I could be wrong. And all that madness that went on. And then they switched over to Ascot, and the 3 bios were running. I was like,
it's hardly at the ball,
where's the Donnelly colours? It's like, where's Shishkin? And Shishkin is on the flat track, looking at a bush, just strolling around.
Still there, biting the hedge.
Oh, it was brilliant. On to that, Sean has touched on it. We had the Betfair Chase, big grade 1, Saturday, and the John Durkin, big grade 1 today. The 2 bios that were first and second in the Gold Cup last year, both beaten again. To me, Brvemansgame definitely running 10 pounds below form anyway. I know Andrew's going to talk about him not finding much off the bridle, which it looks the case, but when he's good, he doesn't need to come off the bridle. And he's just not travelling like that, like he did last year. And I was really worried about Gallopin after seeing Brvemansgame yesterday. Kubo, big fan of the podcast, has been over a few times, has been talking all summer long about how hard the Gold Cup is. I've talked about it in regards to 3-mile races. Sean has, Tom has, Andrew has, and Gallopin lost as well. We give him another chance, no doubt about it. I love Gallopin, but what worried about me, and I text Tom, and I think Tom or Brian Smith, another man that follows the podcast, that whoosh of pace that he's had over the last few years when he's asked, it just wasn't there today. He tried, he didn't down tools, he tried his hardest, but when the last few years when they asked him to go for extra, he always had a turn of pace, and it didn't seem to be there today. First race of the season, so maybe he can come on from there. I don't know what you do with Brvemansgame. It's all up in the air, but the Gold Cup is wide open, and now Fast or Slow simply has to be taken serious.
Yeah, I start with Brvemansgame first. Look, I've said it for 2-3 years. I don't think this horse finds much off the bridle. I think he just got outstayed again by Royal Burgoy, which I didn't think he'd beat him. I thought he'd finish second to him. I didn't protect her. I don't like at all. Look, he came there travelling on the dicky again. 3 out, 4 out start, thought he was going to win. I don't think they have any excuses. I found it strange that they actually ran after the Charlie Hall if they were thinking of going straight to the King George. I thought it was a strange move. But can you trust him now in the King George? Yeah, look back in his happy hunting ground. Paul Nichols, the right man to get him right for the King George. Look, Gold Cup probably has taken a bit out of him now. He's had to have 2 chances to show us. He's had to be beat both times. So, look, move on. Gambling Champ, look, I was gobsmacked watching it there today. But the more I watched it back, the more I was thinking, actually wasn't a bad run at all. If you go through the first mile, I'd say, of the race, go back and look, he got into the bottom of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fences. And then it was at the 9th where he actually decided to wake up and start latching onto the bridle. Have they switched him off so much now that this kind of zip that we saw when we saw the chase debut at Leopardstown, is that kind of gone? Do you change tack now? Do you go...
You mentioned this on Twitter, I think, and you texted in, and Brian Smith actually did as well, to just leave him go from the front like he used to do before.
Just light him up now and let him go. You know he stays the trip now. He stayed it really well. You just let him out in the front, use his jump, because when his jumping is good, it's electric. I don't know where he gets bored and behind horses, just having to fucking flick away and get in behind. His jump was terrible for the first mile. He was getting in at the bottom of so many fences. Like, he bolted up in this last year. Fast and Slow was in it last year. Fast and Slow is a different horse. He's proved me wrong today. He's a massive contender now. He's a lot better than I thought he was. But he beat Fakir Duda Arena last year. Was it a much better renewal this year?
I think his form last year is miles better.
Yeah.
He bet.
Look, that's clutching at straws now.
Fakir, he is what he is, but he's multiple Grade 1 winner over the distance, and he beat him on the bridle by 13 lengths. So.
Yeah, like it's the whole thing with what you do now as the tactic wise. I just let him out, let him rip, bring him back to Leopardstown, let him out in front, see what happens. 100% would not give up on him. First run of the season, you said, we know a lot of Willies are coming on for the run.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he was beat 2 lengths. Considering how much he done wrong during the race. But yeah, you need to see him go and do it again the next time out, but I won't be giving up on him.
Tom?
Yeah, I'd give up on him. I just think...
Jesus.
No, I just read like the stuff from Willie there afterwards, and Paul had said he just felt dead. His work at home had been good. He said he was really disappointed. He'd schooled well at home. It's just the Gold Cup curse, lads. We did this last year when everyone wanted to slag off Henry for a Plutard, and we went through the Gold Cup and how they don't come back. And it's such a tough race, and this is why there are so few multiple winners of a Gold Cup. Albin Photo is the last to do it, obviously. But
yeah, it's a very true thing, Tom. We've talked about it a lot, and there was people on Twitter saying, "Oh, it's made up." It's not really. Indo won it, was the same horse. Plutard won it, wasn't the same horse. Bob's Worth won it, wasn't the same horse. Don Cossack won it, never raced again. Sizen John won it, never the same horse. There's just numerous, and it's year on year, to be honest.
Coney Gree is a novice, and I don't want to take anything away from Albin Photo winning 2 Gold Cups, and I'm going to fall into the trap of saying this now, and I don't really want to because I know it's a stupid thing to say, because there's no such thing as a bad Gold Cup. But with all due respect, he won 2 Gold Cups. He beat Annabelle Fly and Santini into second. Like, they weren't exactly vintage renewals. Whereas when Indo won it the next year, he beat a Plutard and Albin Photo and Native River. Like, that seems a lot more solid, deep form. But I just think it's the Gold Cup curse. I said it, I was worried about it at the start of the season, even though he did look head and shoulders above them. I don't think he didn't jump well for the first mile today, which I think leads to the thing that he just didn't perform. But like, he should be picking these up. He got beat by Appreciated as well, lads. Like, he battered what's the horse he beat in it last year? Fakir Dudery. Like, this is a 2.5 mile race. Fakir Dudery is a proper Grade 1 horse at 2.5 miles. He battered him by 13 lengths. Like, this just wasn't that same horse this year. And I am concerned from going forward. I think Fast or Slow definitely throws himself into the mix now. He's proved that wasn't just a one-off blip, that he went and beat them. And in fairness, I saw a video of Martin Brassel like galloping them at the course the other day, and I just want to say on him, he's very mildly spoken as well. I think pound for pound, he is nearly the best trainer in the UK or Ireland. To target train like he does with a team of 25 horses. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of them cost a lot of money. But I think he's an absolute fantastic trainer. I really, really do think he's very good. And yeah, Fast or Slow comes into it. Look, for me now, Jerry Colomb, this is his chance in the Gold Cup. He goes into a fresh horse. I don't think he's ever going to have he's never going to have a better chance. But I think for a horse like him, he's got a great chance this year.
Sean?
Yeah, the bet for fair play to Andrew for picking out Royal Pagoy. I didn't think he'd be able to compete with these, but in his playground and heavy ground of Venetia's flying, I think Charlie Deutsch deserves a lot of credit. He took this up going to the last in the back straight, in the middle and the back straight, and put emphasis on stamina here, and I think that's how he knew he was going to get Brvemansgame beaten. He pushed on and kicked him on off the bridle all the way down the straight, and Brvemansgame jumped well and pinged everything and just was beaten by a better horse in the day. I personally think they made the balls of the prep for this. I don't think he should have went there. He should have went straight to King George, and if Paul hasn't learned from Clanda's elbow, I'd be cold on going in here now after having two hard runs on heavy ground, especially a Haydock, into a King George. And Protectorat, he threw himself at the first and was keen and got into no rhythm, and he had no hope after that. The John Durkin today, I thought Fast or Slow done very well. It was a slow run race, appreciated dictate out the front, and it was a sprint from the home bend. Look, I'm keen on Galloping the Champ. I had a look back, and I think a hell of a lot went wrong today. He hit, as Andrew said, he hit 5 or 6 fences, got into absolutely no rhythm until halfway down the back when he did. But by then, he'd wasted too much energy on first run. You just cannot hit that many fences and get away with it. I think when you touch on last year, Factor Duderies was nowhere near the same horse as what he'd been running to. I know he batted them by 15 lengths, but I think today's renewal was much better with Fast or Slow in there. And how it was ran, I think, is why the distances weren't as stretched out. Like, it was slowly ran, they sprinted off the bend. Like, he's been beaten a length and a half, making so many mistakes. I think there's plenty of positives from that. My first thing was to go and look at the Gold Cup price, and he's still a favourite with the bookies. You're getting no juice there. I don't think they're not too keen to take a risk yet. It maybe means that we're probably going to see him going to Christmas now and taking on Jerry Colomb, which I'd really like to see, because I don't think Jerry will go to the Dublin Racing Festival, and I wouldn't be giving up on Galloping at all. First run, plenty of mistakes. He'll come on a lot. He can't get away with over 2.5 miles, and stepping back up to 3 miles, I think the next day I wouldn't be ruling them out, certainly not.
Yeah, good points, good comments as well. Bookies Foe said, and Michael Walker, both said, shows you how good Cotto and Denman were to keep coming back all the time. For Cotto to win it, then lose it, then win it again, just really impressive. Some others, Absolute Hard was pulling up last year, whereas Galloping ran good, and we must give him another chance. I agree. I'm worried about him, but definitely give him another chance.
I think that the initial shock of him being beat was like, oh fuck, he's done. But as I went back and looked at it, it's like he's at the belt in 1, 2, 3, 5 fences, and he's still only had been beat 2 lengths in what Sean said was a sprint finish. Like, yeah, I'm not too worried.
It's Tom mentioned and appreciated being in there. That's the worry for me. But he was just about the same off Fast or Slow again at Punchestown, and I just think Fast or Slow needs a lot more respect now. A very good trainer for targeting races, like Tom said. It's great success.
That's a good comment there, Dave, from 2 Scoops 10. He'd either go Irish Gold Cup or Tremor. Tremor is a fucking great shout, because they'll view that as it won't take too much out of him, like an Irish Gold Cup. That's a really good shout.
If he goes there,
if he comes home and they find maybe something wrong with him as well, and he needs a little bit of time off, Tremor fit in perfect. Get a couple of weeks off and come back there. Tremor,
you could do that in DRF.
Nice heavy ground.
I'd take Tremor right there. Anyway, Willie Mullins can do his race planning. Doesn't need us to.
No,
very true.
Do we have
doesn't even know, I think, until the morning.
Any eye catchers before we sign off?
I know the way you're thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he could have 2 or 3 races in him. That was quite the eye-catching run. I know Gaelic Warrior was off like a country mile, but you went, go back and watch him through the race. It was a nice little handy job by Mark Walsh to get him around and just stay away. Even though I probably couldn't keep up with him, but nice run. And as Sean touched on earlier, he was second to Imagine won today. I think it was a grade 3 or grade 2 or something like that.
Grade 2, yeah.
Yeah, he could be a decent little horse going forward.
2 for me. Sean mentioned one of them. We weren't here last week, but Spallan's Tower. I think he'll win something, probably a handicap. I think it's fairly obvious, but I wanted to give him a shout. And Kerry Lee's horse, who I put up for a race at Cheltenham start of the season, ran at Ascot today. Atlanta Brave, very slow, but will win one of these long distance 3 mile handicaps. 100%. Was running on like madness today. Probably should have won. Tom, any eye catchers?
Yeah, 2. Like you, Dave, Spallan's Tower has got handicap written all over him. He's on my radar. In a Tondu, our horse finished 3rd behind him and Imagine last year. So he was on my radar coming into this season, and he's got a handicap written all over him. And when he does show up in one, he will bolt up, I guarantee you. So that'll be very interesting. And the other one, somebody mentioned it earlier on, and you brought it up, Dave, and she's going to get overlooked because there was so much good racing on this week. But Hackett de Talbert at Cork, really, really good chasing debut. She won by 20 lengths, basically on the bridle. The horses she beat are okay horses. They're rated in the high teens or 1-2-1. Henning is, but she absolutely battered them. Her form last season is very good. She was 3rd in the Mayor's Novice. Will knock off the Fairy House run, getting beaten 61 lengths by Asher Diamond. Because Sean, we all know what you do in April. You go drinking and watch a bit of racing and enjoy the sunshine. So yeah, she was very, very good, and I actually think she could play a massive hand in the Mayor's Novice Novice Chase division now this season.
Sean, any eye catchers?
Yeah, I'm gonna tour it with Spallan Tower. Like, I banged him up at the start of the season. He's been a perfect JP plot job. You'd want to see him run another beginner chase against another top notch. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Christmas and finishes the Tour de Fort. You'll happily take that. It'll probably be 2.5 days, and you'll be GSI the day he goes in a handicap. I didn't get a chance to look through all the maiden hurdles because of replays, but listen, he won the race, but Slate Lane. I talked about him last week. He was impressive. He's still doing things wrong. He's a bit keen out the front. He lost his legs after the second last and was still able to find. I think he's definitely still got another one in him after winning the weekend. And I don't know. He's a Thames qualifier. Like, he's probably going to have to run well in that and maybe give away his mark. But I definitely think he has another one, whether it be the final at Cheltenham or whether the day before that. He has another handicap in the bag for me.
They've done a proper job with that horse. In fairness, like they've kept him really under the radar. Like in his last few.
I told you. I hope you had the cash on Saturday because the money came, the Emmett gamble, and you just win money.
Oh, he was off, was he? Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if he was off the last 3 times before that.
Running in, what was it? An amateur derby around Leopardstown as a nice little prep run.
That's it.
Do you know who? Henry had a nice horse in the Moscata colours today. She won the Mayor's race. She could be one to keep an eye on as well. Come from France. Thought she was good.
See the Rona McNally thing.
I'm not saying anything. Other than that,
Rona McNally thing.
Someone mentioned Blue King Doro was very impressive. He was as a 4-year-old, but that strong leader is one of the stupidest horses in training. Himself and Gaelic Warrior are like 2 teenage boys and just horny. But anyway,
I don't even know.
They don't think with their brains. They think with their legs and their third leg, fifth leg.
Those 2 comments right next to each other. The McNally one and the one underneath are very good. I enjoy it.
Who's this Clonmel kid?
He's bloggers, point to point horse. Oh, Sean's going watching him in Glistian Varna. Anyway, we'll be back on Wednesday. Great race at Newcastle. I think the Hennessy is on this weekend as well. It's Mallow Mission is going to win. John McConnell is going to go back into the winners circle.
Back into the green.
Have a good week. See you Wednesday.